Imagine standing amidst the chaos of a battlefield, arrows soaring through the air, the deafening clash of swords, the cries of men echoing through the vast expanse. You are the emperor, the leader of an empire that stretches across continents. And yet, amidst the bloodshed and turmoil, your mind is as still as a mountain lake. No fear, no anger, no despair. Only clarity, only calm. This was the mind of Marcus Aurelius, the last of the 5 good emperors of Rome and one of the greatest Stoic philosophers in history. He ruled an empire engulfed in war, disease, and betrayal, yet his writings reveal a man who is unshaken, a man who found inner peace and strength in the face of unimaginable adversity. But how? How did he, one of the most powerful men in history, remain calm while the world around him crumbled? How did he endure pain, loss, and betrayal without being consumed by them? What secret did Marcus Aurelius possess that allowed him to cultivate unbreakable resilience and profound tranquility? In this video, we will unravel that secret. We will explore the ancient wisdom hidden within his personal reflections, known as meditations. We will travel through time, uncovering the esoteric teachings of Stoicism, and we will distill them into practical techniques that you can apply in your own life, techniques that can help you master your emotions, navigate hardship, and achieve a sense of unshakable peace. By the end of this journey, you will not only understand Marcus Aurelius' secret, but you will also have the tools to live it. To understand the secret behind Marcus Aurelius' inner peace and strength, we first need to grasp the foundations of his philosophy: perception, control, and acceptance. Let's start with perception. He believed that suffering does not come from external events, but from how we interpret them. 2 people can go through the same hardship. One is crushed by it, while the other remains strong. Why? Because one sees a disaster, while the other sees an opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, it is not the thing itself that troubles you, but your judgment about it. And this you have the power to change." Think of a storm. You can't control the wind, the rain, or the thunder, but how you respond to it is entirely up to you. You can curse the storm and let fear take over, or you can sit inside, observe the chaos with calmness, and remind yourself that it will pass. This is exactly how Marcus Aurelius approached life. He reframed misfortune, turning it into something useful rather than allowing it to consume him. Now, let's talk about control. One of the most important Stoic principles is the dichotomy of control, the idea that some things are within our power, while others are not. Marcus Aurelius lived by this rule, focusing his energy only on what he could control. So, what are those things? His thoughts, his actions, and his character. Everything else, what others thought of him. The rise and fall of empires, even his own physical pain, was beyond his power. And so, he let go of the need to control them. Think of a sailor caught in a storm. He cannot stop the wind or calm the waves, but he can control how he steers his ship. He can adjust his sails, navigate wisely, and stay calm. That is the way of the Stoic. Marcus Aurelius embraced this fully. When betrayed, he did not waste energy resenting his enemies. When faced with hardship, he did not complain. Instead, he responded with wisdom, patience, and virtue, not because it was easy, but because it was the only thing truly within his power. Finally, acceptance. Perhaps the most difficult lesson of all. The Stoics called this amor fati, or love of fate. It is not enough to simply endure hardship. One must embrace it as a natural part of life. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself of this truth. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Everything we love, everything we build, even our own bodies, will one day be gone. But instead of fearing this, he accepted it. He did not see death as a tragedy, but as a natural part of existence. He saw suffering as a teacher, misfortune as a test, and change as the very essence of life. By training himself to accept reality as it is, rather than resisting it, Marcus Aurelius found a peace that nothing, not war, not betrayal, not even death could shake. Now that we understand the three pillars of Marcus Aurelius' philosophy: perception, control, and acceptance, it's time to see how he actually lived by these principles. It's one thing to understand Stoic wisdom in theory, but applying it in real life, when faced with suffering, injustice, and uncertainty, is an entirely different challenge. So how did Marcus Aurelius turn philosophy into action? First, he saw obstacles not as barriers, but as opportunities. He believed that challenges weren't meant to stop us, they were meant to push us forward. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Think about that. Whatever difficulty you're facing right now isn't something to avoid, it's actually the very thing that will make you stronger. Imagine a fire. When you throw wood into it, does it die out? No, it burns even brighter. Every hardship in life is fuel for your inner fire, and Marcus Aurelius faced plenty of struggles, betrayal from those closest to him, a deadly plague that swept through his empire, constant wars, and the crushing weight of ruling the Roman world. But instead of breaking under these pressures, he used them as his greatest teachers. He saw misfortune as a forge, a place where his character was strengthened. This is a mindset we can all develop. The next time you're going through something difficult, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me wiser, stronger, more resilient? What if the thing you see as a setback is actually a gift? When you shift your perspective, you take back control. Another lesson Marcus Aurelius lived by was detachment from ego, from emotions, from the need for approval. He knew that true peace didn't come from status, wealth, or what others thought of him. It came from within. He once wrote, "Choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been." That's a powerful idea. It means that pain, insult, failure, none of these things have power over you unless you let them. If someone disrespects you, you can choose not to take offense. If you lose something, you can choose to let go. This doesn't mean ignoring your emotions, it means mastering them. Marcus trained himself in this every day. When he felt anger rising, he reminded himself, the best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. When he felt anxious, he told himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. When he was afraid, he reflected, it is not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live. Because of this mental discipline, he was able to remain calm, rational, and steady even in the worst situations. But philosophy wasn't just something Marcus Aurelius thought about, it was something he lived. He believed that true strength comes from virtue, not from power, not from money, not from being admired, but from acting with wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline. Every morning, he prepared himself for the day ahead. When you wake up, remind yourself, today I will meet people who are ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and selfish. But I will not be shaken, because their actions cannot truly harm me. And every night he reflected, did I act with wisdom today? Did I handle challenges with patience? Did I stay true to my values? Because at the end of the day, it's not about what happens to us, it's about how we respond. It's not enough to read philosophy. We have to live it. So now that we've broken down Marcus Aurelius' philosophy, the real question is, how do we use this in our own lives? It's one thing to read about Stoic wisdom, but it's something else entirely to live it. Because real transformation doesn't happen by just understanding an idea. It happens when we train ourselves just like a warrior trains their body. One of the simplest but most powerful ways to do that is by practicing Stoic habits every day. And Marcus Aurelius had a few that helped him stay strong, calm, and clear-headed no matter what chaos was happening around him. Every morning, he prepared himself. He would wake up and remind himself, "Today, I'm going to encounter selfishness, arrogance, ingratitude, but none of it will truly harm me." He wasn't being negative, he was being realistic. He knew that people can be difficult, life can be messy, and things won't always go his way. But by expecting these challenges, they wouldn't catch him off guard, and that's something we can do too. Just take a few moments in the morning and visualize your day. Think about the things that might test your patience, maybe a rude coworker, a long traffic jam, or unexpected bad news. And then remind yourself, none of these things have the power to control your mind. You do. Another habit Marcus used whenever he felt overwhelmed was something called the view from above. He would imagine himself rising above the earth, looking down at his problems from a distance. And from up there, everything that seemed so big, so stressful, suddenly became small. He reminded himself that time keeps moving, that all emotions, anger, frustration, anxiety, are fleeting. That, in the grand scheme of things, most of what upsets us today won't even matter a year from now. It's an incredibly simple but powerful practice. Next time you feel frustrated or anxious, take a breath. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself floating above everything. And ask yourself, will this still matter in a week? In a year? In 10? You'll be surprised how quickly that shift in perspective can bring you peace. And finally, at the end of the day, Marcus always took time to reflect. He would ask himself, did I act with wisdom today? Did I let my emotions take over? Did I respond to challenges the way I wanted to? And most importantly, what can I do better tomorrow? That's a habit that can change your life. Because when you start paying attention to your own actions every day, you naturally start improving. You stop making the same mistakes. You become stronger, more patient, more in control of yourself, and that's really what all of this is about. Marcus Aurelius didn't care about being rich or powerful. He just wanted to live with wisdom, with virtue, with strength. And every day he asked himself, am I living the way I should? Am I fulfilling my role in this world? Now you have that same choice. You can wake up and prepare your mind. You can train yourself to see life from above. You can end each day by reflecting on who you are becoming. Do this every day, and no failure, no insult, no hardship will ever break you. Because you will have built something stronger than the world around you. You'll have built yourself. You know, when we think about power, we often picture armies, wealth, influence. But Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful emperors in history, saw it differently. For him, real power wasn't about ruling others. It was about ruling yourself. He faced pressures most of us can't even imagine: wars, betrayals, the weight of an entire empire on his shoulders. But no matter what was happening around him, he never let it shake his inner peace. He never let the chaos of the world control his mind. How? Through a simple but profound philosophy, one built on perception, control, and acceptance. And that's something we can all learn from. Because let's be honest, life is full of challenges. Every day, we deal with stress, setbacks, people who test our patience. But what if we could train our minds to stay strong through it all? What if, no matter what happened, we remained calm, clear, unshaken? That's exactly what Marcus Aurelius practiced. And it starts with just a few simple habits every morning. Take a moment to prepare yourself. Remind yourself that the day ahead won't be perfect. There will be difficulties, delays, frustrations. But none of these things have the power to control you unless you let them. When emotions start to take over, step back. See your problems from a higher perspective. Imagine yourself rising above it all, looking down from a distance. Most of what upsets us today won't even matter in a year. So why let it steal your peace? And before you go to sleep, reflect. Ask yourself, did I act with wisdom today? Did I stay in control of myself? What could I have done better? That's how you grow. That's how you build unshakable strength, because in the end, it's not what happens to us that defines us, it's how we respond. And Stoicism gives us the tools to respond with wisdom, patience, and resilience, no matter what life throws. Our way.so next time you're feeling stressed, frustrated, or overwhelmed, pause. Take a breath and ask yourself, what would Marcus Aurelius do? Your strength is already within you. The only question is, will you use it? Thank you for being part of this journey through Stoic philosophy. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more timeless wisdom, and remember, the path to peace isn't out there. It begins within.